Hello everyone, my name is Phawx. Once again we're taking a look at the GPD Win Max. This time we're taking a look at the PC port of Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age. There were a few people on the Discord that had cited this particular game causing problems to even get running on the GPD Win 2, so I was a little bit concerned that it would be problems for me. It should be worth noting, and everyone should be happy, that literally I just pressed go, and it started up with no problem and little fanfare, so very little to do, just press play. Straight from the Steam store. This particular request, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, comes from Yakub. Hopefully I do this video justice for you. Right now we are in low settings. This is what is just what they configure as a preset as low. There are some other settings that I do that I kind of prefer. It does slightly increase the amount of power, but the overall image quality, how it's set up, is what I prefer. Very quickly, we'll just go to high. The only thing that doesn't happen in high right now is the frame rate limit. That is still stuck at 30. To go to 60, I do need to restart the game, so I do need to find a save point first before we do that. Otherwise, I will go back in time. And I'd rather find a save point and then go to 60 and see what we can do. Now, going to high, the image quality doesn't seem to really get that much better. It just seems, honestly, slightly blurrier to me and a lot more sluggish. I'm not a particular fan of it. Literally just going to graphics settings and low seems to be all you really need to do, and image quality doesn't really change all that much. We use considerably less power and have better performance. So from my point of view, the low graphics setting is preferred on both counts, which is weird and atypical. Anywho, let me go ahead and start running the game. On the top left, you can see the API that we're running. This is DirectX 11. Current package temperature. Our power limit, our current package power, this is the demands that the game is putting on the chip and what the chip is requiring the system to give it. The PL1 power limit, which is 25.125 watt. That's the low-end ceiling for my PL1 power limit. And then the GPU clock, which you saw briefly at 1050 megahertz, which is the top-end GPU frequency for 1035 G7 Ice Lake chip. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map to see where I'm going to the right location, and it does appear that I am.
There you are, Kites. Stop loafing.
Skip El Skipo. Okay. Alrighty, so I just skipped ahead of that. I have accepted my first quest, which is to hunt down the rogue tomato. And I guess I'll go mess him up some. But I have to go talk to the petitioner first. Otherwise, I can't go after the bounty. Makes sense, I suppose. The good news is that where the bounty is, or just before I get there, is a save crystal. So I should be able to save the game, skip ahead of that, and then also enable 60 FPS mode just to see if we can almost come close to hitting 60 FPS. Where am I here? I'm over yonder, and I want to make a left.
You there, let's see some papers, boy. No public passage on account of the Lord Consul's parade.
Oh, gee, that's too bad. You see, it just so happens that your provisioner for the fete tonight, he sent me to pick up a few choice morsels for the, Consul's dining pleasure. He wants them quick. I got the writ of transit right here. You see? Signed, Magello. I just hate to see the Consul upset because his food wasn't ready on time. And I sure hate to see him take it out on you.
The Lord Consul is a great man, and not one to take offence in such trifling matters.
Come on, guys.
Move along, boy. Wouldn't do to keep the Consul waiting. Right. Gates are closed after this.
Sweet. Let me go ahead and save the game. Then we'll skip ahead and enable 60 FPS mode. Yes, please. Boop. Alrighty. Let us go into here. And we will config graphic settings. We'll keep it at low. And we'll do 60 here. Before I do that, let's go ahead and change some other stuff. Water shader to low. We'll turn that off. I prefer FXAA. F resolution. You know, I do like ambient. You know, I would rather have full resolution there. Okay, we'll just back out of there and see what that does to our frame rate. Still okay. Package power is still fine. Perfect. Let us go into config and we'll do 60 FPS again. Okay. And we're going to say yes to this, and I'll skip ahead. Alrighty, and we're back. And we don't quite hit 60. Let's see how well this handles. Going up to 60, obviously you can see our CPU package power has greatly increased. So if you wanted to try to hit this 60 FPS mark, do be aware that it is going to lower your battery lifetimes when you do this. It would be advisable to do 30 FPS. Let me go ahead and turn off my computer speakers. The only reason that I'm doing 60 FPS here is just so that it's easier for you guys to see, you know, overall frame rate, what to expect. Now, let me see. Oh, steel. Apologies for how blown out that video was, since the contrast went up greatly. Oof, I really do have to tell you guys, the fluctuation in frame rate feels really bad. Those dips in performance that we're getting are extremely noticeable. I would really advise to keep it at 30 FPS. Feels like I'm just like tugging on it every now and again. Oh snap. I mean, the good news is as well for running at 30 FPS is that battery life will be better and performance will be better. You know, it's kind of interesting, you know, that I prefer low graphics settings. I'm preferring lower frame rate. Overall, just picking the lowest settings is the idea. You can kind of see it as I'm moving around, how almost even the camera is being forcefully moved around here. Almost as if I'm like, the machine is like trying to catch up. You can see this like staggered stutter. Where's this Rotten Tomato? Oh man, is that dinosaur gonna mess me up? You know what? Let me take care of this wolf. And how's my health? My health is super low. Let me go and item up. Do I have? Let me go here. Items, potion, me. Yeah, I was all types of hurt. Alright, let me take this. Ooh, nice. This guy's gonna donk me up. Oof, yeah, this is not wise. Note to self. Alright, let's see if we can get through there. Oh, that's nice. There's an autosave option. Oh, that's handy. You know what? Let me actually go ahead. Since I have this, I'm going to go back down to 30 FPS just because I'm going to prefer that. Alright, we're back to locked 30. One thing that I would like you guys to kind of keep an eye on is the CPU package power. At 17 watt, we're looking at around 25 watt total system power. And at that point, you're a little bit over 2 hours of battery life. So something to keep in mind. Hurrah. Just trying to find this Rotten Tomato dude. Staying away from that guy. Run away! Basically just hold R2 to flee. Can I jump down here? Nope. That would have been convenient. Oh, chocobos. 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 Unlucky merchant. You know what? This is over 10 minutes. Yeah, so this is my look at Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age. Hopefully this has shown you guys enough. My particular recommendation here, apologies, my particular recommendation here is to indeed, and you can run this however you want and kind of run through this, go ahead and set a lot of things to low. There are certain things that obviously you're going to want to bump up. Obviously that's, again, all subjective in how you want it to run, but I do actually prefer lower graphical settings, especially at this resolution. It does say 1280 by 800, but you can clearly see that it is 720p actually in rendering. So we're not getting that extra lines of resolution. It's not 16 by 10, it is still 16 by 9, how we're resolving this ultimately. But yeah, the game does run just fine, and at locked 30 frames, the game is way more consistent. I don't really think that there's going to be any real way to run this at a solid 60 FPS all the time unless we really start boosting wattage, and at that point it's not really worth it. You can go up higher because we just need that CPU to hit that frame rate. I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. So yeah, that's it. Again, also again, for people for the Win 2, they said that they have to go through a lot, like start it up in windowed mode and then switched over to full screen mode. That wasn't the case at all. I literally started the game and it started working immediately. So that's it. As always, guys, thank you for your time, and thanks for watching.